Like that. Just checking the specs on the end line for the rotary girder. I'm retarded.
He's just making shit up right now.
So, Alma, what did I miss? Oh, goddamn. She not here? Oh, okay. Oh, you sound so much better now. Yes, yes, it sounds fantastic.
It's the mic you stole from a kid.
It is. I found these outside.
There you go. That's awesome.
Alma,
Yes.
I've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Oh God.
Yes.
For real. FR.
Really?
I remember one time we were like I think I DM'd you or something. I'm like, hey, can you come on the podcast Saturday? This is like a month ago. And then Saturday came and went, and then Arturo and I wound up doing the podcast by ourselves because Chris was in Chicago or something, or in the Keys or whatever else last week.
No, that was the first time. The first time that he was in Chicago is when she was supposed to be on, and we just never got her on. And then last week,
wait, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Did I know about this?
That's okay.
PJ like talked to you about it, and then he never said anything about it ever.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
yeah, I mentioned it. I was at his house. I'm like, hey, don't we have to have Alma on this week? Oh yeah.
Like, oh shit, I never talked to her about it. But in my defense, the phones work two ways.
Ooh.
Oh,
I gave you my phone number. I don't think you ever gave me yours.
I don't think I ever saved your phone number. I think it's still in the DM. I never followed up with myself about that.
Yeah.
And in case anybody's curious, we're live right now.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, Jesus, Christmas. Okay. Chris, have you prepared an intro for this week? I know we do a different one every week.
Son of a bitch. So, I am Chris with Cowdog Craftworks, and I, as always, am joined by PJ Fetcher with the Evolution of Tables and Arturo, the Chop Master. And today, I am joined by probably my favorite guest that we've had on, and no offense to everybody else that's been on.
Forget everybody else that's been on the show.
As much as I love everybody else that's been on.
Is there a bad connection? What's going
on? I mean, they know where you live, man.
Yeah,
you're here, and they've been to your house.
This is not just a voyeur cam that's in her house right now. This is actually Alma Villalobos from Pink Soul Studios. Yes. Say hello.
Hey.
Tell us a little something about yourself.
Yeah, let us know all the things.
All the things. I use Pink Soul Studios as my business name and my Instagram handle. I'm a stay-at-home mom, first and foremost, that is trying to make this woodworking maker life happen on the side.
Yes.
So, yeah. I'm in Chicago.
Her kid's adorable, so there's that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he'll make me money one day,
He's pretty cute. Yeah, you got to throw him in a commercial.
That's what we all hope.
Right?
It'd be really hard to have a kid.
Any day. Hollywood is going to call any day.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't put a saw in his hands. Put a golf club in there because that's gonna make you so much more money.
Right?
Oh, that's a fact. Yeah, there's Festool sponsorships and stuff, and then there's also pro PGA tours and stuff that's a different level.
Nike, Reebok, and all.
No, screw that. When you're sponsored by a hedge fund, that's when you know that
anything.
Put the ball in the hole, kid. So Alma, you primarily do. What would you say you primarily do? Is it mostly CNC stuff, or what's your bread and butter basically?
I guess if we're talking bread and butter, yeah, CNC stuff mostly for other makers, templates, custom, whatever. If I can put it on my CNC, I will.
Okay.
And mostly it would be for other makers. And then I think after that, it's really anything that I can do. I mean, I try to make pretty much anything.
Okay.
So I like making furniture. I don't get a lot of opportunity for that, only because the CNC stuff keeps me pretty busy.
Yeah.
And my son keeps me very busy. So
as he should.
Yeah. So a lot of times, I usually have to pass on a lot of that work. Right now.
Yeah. Okay. That was my next question. You have to turn down a lot of stuff because you're busy with the CNC most of the time. I've seen you do some commission pieces.
Yeah. It's not so much, to be honest, It's not so much the TBH. It's
RN.
not so much the CNC that keeps me busy. It honestly is just being a mom. So the summer is rough right now, but once he's in school, then I'm gonna go pretty hard into it to try to, make more stuff.
If you can't say balls to the wall, do you have to say like labia to the wall or something?
Oh,
like,
Jesus Christ, Chris, come on, this is a family show, man.
I don't understand why I can't say balls to the wall.
I mean, I guess you can, but you have to reference like your body part that's going to the wall in that specific circumstance, I would think.
Chris, I'd venture to guess that Alma has bigger testicles than you do, to be honest.
I think she has bigger balls than all of us. But speaking of measuring things, since Arturo likes to measure dicks when it comes to CNCs, how big is your CNC?
I have a tiny one compared to Arturo's.
Yeah,
it's the iconic. So it's only like a 20 by 15. It's pretty small.
Feet? Oh my goodness.
No, jeez. Inches.
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's like it's like their mobile unit. But I mean, it's enough for what I do. I also have the Shaper Origin, so that's
we're
talking about that. Yes, that is an awesome piece of machinery. Cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, like I'm getting that a while back.
I did instead of a domino. I was gonna get, Chris and I did this big warehouse job. Where it's like, we set out. We're like, we want to get dominoes, and then maybe I don't want a domino. Maybe I want a Shaper instead.
Cool.
But that's cool, man.
Shaper,
especially for big pieces. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
It's cool. I think the domino is probably better for what you guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the Shaper. It becomes, because you're the robot then. So it's not like you can kind of set it and do other things.
You can't set it and forget it. You can't.
No.
Oh God. Ron Popeil is rolling over in his grave right now, man.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-hmm. And also his royalty checks.
He's still alive, actually. I think
he is.
Yeah, it's the other guy that's dead, right?
Oh, Billy Mays. Yes.
Billy Mays is dead. Yeah. Jeez.
Mighty Putty can fix everything but a broken heart.
Yeah. All right, pour some coffee out on the ground for Billy Mays.
Jeez, man.
That's cool. Arturo, which CNC do you have?
I bought a used shop bot.
Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's horrible. I bought a used shop bot, and then because the guys where I bought it from, they didn't know how to use it, and they fired the guy that knew how to use it. So they're like, look, we'd rather get rid of it and put like a large format printer because they're a science shop. So I was like, I'm interested in buying it because I know science shops are not going to put abuse on like the rails and stuff like that. So I bought it and upgraded it, and that's what I use. Now it's way overkill though, but the price was just perfect.
Yeah.
For what you paid for the Shaper, I got that guy.
Oh wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I never really asked you how much you paid for that.
It's a 4x8?
No, it's a 5x14.
Oh,
holy.
Yeah.
That's big.
It's not inches, it's feet. Yeah. And I had a Shapeoko. I had a 16x16, the little Shapeoko.
Yeah.
And then this arose. So I was like, we're getting it. It was awesome price. So
that's a hell of a jump, man, from 16 inches square to
dude.
5x12.
Yeah, because I had in between those two, I actually had the plasma cutter from the guys next to me, and that I just got working right. And that was like a 4x4 type of thing. But then like the 4x4, the size is so awkward. You need a little bit bigger, like longer wise.
Yeah.
So it arose, and I jumped on it, and I convinced them to put it like really cheap.
Nice.
Yeah, because they had it for like $7,000. And I was like, yeah, I'm not paying $7,000, dude.
Yeah, even that would have been a good deal.
$7,000 for the machine is a great deal. Like the last machine that's similar to that one that just sold was like almost in the $20,000 area.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then like there's a used one now, a 4x8 for $8,000.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
As weird as this sounds, have you considered like flipping it to make some extra coin out of it?
I have it for sale. So, I don't, if the right amount of money arises, then
So then what would you get to replace it?
A 4x8.
Just a normal 4x8.
4x8 is the sweet spot. That's all you really need.
Yeah.
Very rarely will you ever use 12 feet. I've used 12 feet like once.
Yeah.
One time, and that's it.
Were you engraving like a beam for a pergola or something?
Yeah, right.
Some design shop in Miami was like, we can't rip 12-foot MDF. Can you rip it for us?
Oh, really? It was just a straight cut, like a
straight cut. That's all it was.
Oh,
But
man,
straight
okay.
cuts. But then, my buddy next to me in the bays, he got a sliding table saw.
Oh, perfect.
One of those 10-foot sliding table
the
saws.
panel saws. Yeah.
So I did one time on it, and I was like, dude, let me just use your panel saw, and it took us like an hour and a half to rip 350 cuts or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, but we're just ripping it because the sliding table saw is massive, and it just
Sure, and it's
quick.
probably was it a 14-inch blade?
No, that one is a
regular
12-inch.
12-inch blade. Yeah, it's freaking those big industrial table saws.
Bro, and it's MDF, so it's just like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just dusty as hell and
Dusty.
super toxic for your life.
Yeah, but he has the dust collector hooked up, so it wasn't a big deal. It was just moving the MDF. MDF that large, that's the other problem. When you go that large, MDF is a nightmare to move around.
Alma, when you cut primarily MDF stuff, right? Like for the push sticks?
A lot of times, yeah.
Yeah. Like, do you
Cool.
you ever have? I mean, you probably have a better dust collection system than I do.
I don't even have one.
Yeah, Alma's shop has like carpet on the ground. That's how badass her
No.
dust collection is.
No. It's so disgusting.
But she does have good dust collection.
My CNC has its own dedicated, like it's
Cool.
It's the iconic mobile. It comes with a little dust collector. I rarely put it on because it's so loud.
Oh.
So I'm terrible. I actually did get sick once from the MDF.
Did you get a sinus infection like that?
I got I think it was a couple years ago. But it was like my throat and
oh no.
Yeah, it was terrible. Man. And it was in the winter, so everything was, I had the garage closed down, and then I was running that, and I didn't really think about it. I was kind of doing a lot of orders at the time. So so now I just, I wear my mask, and it's enclosed.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, in the enclosure, does it get like warm, like hot, or
no?
No, it doesn't. Oh,
no, there's a little bit of there's a little bit of. It's not completely enclosed, like sealed.
Right.
So still dust is going to come out.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I usually I'm wearing my mask or cleaning as I go.
Is it a vacuum table, or is it just you just kind of double stick tape down?
I use double stick tape or hot glue.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, hot glue.
Hot glue is a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have a cordless hot glue gun?
I do. It's so badass.
That is like one of my favorite. It was such a weird impulse buy, and I can't even remember why actually, no, I do remember why I bought it. I wanted to use it for sleds on my planer, like a little flattening sled for edge grading cutting boards, like just to get them, one side flat and then flip it, pull it off the sled and then flip it through. But yeah, that thing is, I mean, I'll just say it. It's the tits. It's the best. Like, I fucking love that thing. I find all sorts of stupid reasons to use it all the time. I actually used it on the concrete molds to sort of get them set up before I threw some drywall screws in there, just to like get it laid out.
Yeah,
it worked amazing.
The same.
Yeah,
yeah, I do the same. It's a little shore bonder one. Like, you just keep the base plugged in. So awesome. As soon as I open up the shop and turn on the power, it's on. Like, it comes on with everything else.
Oh, cool.
And
so you always
it stays warm for like an hour, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
The Ryobi one's funny because, like, if you throw the switch on and you just sort of leave it, like, the glue will start melting if it's loaded. And
that's what I was gonna get at.
It'll start just kind of like coming on your like freaking whatever surface you have it like set on, and it's
coming out
the end.
Coming out of the end.
Coming out
the gun. That's what we're
gonna get.
Family
That's
show.
why you don't buy Ryobi.
Jesus Christ.
Unless you're sponsored by Ryobi, then Ryobi.
No, I'll tell you why I bought it is because it was literally like $19, and it worked with all the batteries, that I already had because I was cheap when I started.
That's why anybody buys Ryobi. I'm sorry, I'll take it back. No offense to Ryobi fans, but
or Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to the Brad nailer off that Arturo had with John.
Yeah.
Look,
the D-Watt went to crap. That $300 and something freaking Brad nailer went to crap, and his Ryobi was perfectly fine.
On local network television.
Yeah.
That's true.
Granted, his was only a pin nailer. and not an actual
he's got the
brad
brad nailer too.
Yeah, but what he was using was a pin nailer. He wasn't using the brad nailer.
How many brad nails would you say that we threw into that warehouse job, PJ?
I know, man. I know what you're getting at, but I'll tell you right now, if Makita made a battery-powered brad nailer, it would kick the shit out of the Ryobi one.
I'm sure it does, but here's the point.
I thought they did.
Do they? I don't even know.
I think they do.
No,
I'm gonna look it up.
It's also 3 times the cost. I get it.
It
I know,
is.
man. I know.
Yeah, but the thing with Ryobi is if you have all the batteries like John does, it's
sure, dude,
value.
It comes down to batteries all the time.
And he has a ton of batteries, a ton of chargers.
Yeah.
Like I have a ton of DeWalt stuff, so might as well.
He was telling me either yesterday or the day before. It was yesterday. No, 2 days ago, or I don't know. I don't know when the fuck it was. But anyway, he was telling me that so he uses a lot of their lawn equipment with the 40-volt batteries. So he's got like the big power blower, and his mower runs off of like 2 of them. And he's like, I do my entire lawn with a fucking self-propelled electric lawnmower.
That's
and
cool,
that just
actually.
blew my mind away. I was like, oh, that is awesome. How much was that?
What is that?
That's
a brad nailer, though. I'm sorry, a pin nailer.
Still for carpentry and stuff.
This is brad nailer.
Yeah. I 2-inch brad nailer.
Yeah,
229.
Yeah, Brad, you're right, man. It is a brad nailer.
It says it in the name.
Oh yeah, right there. BRAD. Yeah.
Pasio nailer.
Okay.
It's not Brad's nailer. It's
Brad nailer.
Okay, yeah. So I looked quickly. I thought I saw the apostrophe S, but that was the
The
2-inch thing. I'm dyslexic.
The Milwaukee one though is badass. The Milwaukee's what is that company called? Suco or Soco or whatever. One of the guys next to me has that. Man, that thing's a beast, and it's so quiet. So quiet.
You're quiet.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Are you looking at getting a bigger CNC or no?
I go back and forth. Like I thought about, I really love the Axiom one, or I just saw a Laguna, the Swift.
The Lagunas are good.
Laguna Swift in person. It's really nice.
That's April's machine, right? The that's where I saw it. 4x8. Yeah,
4x8.
Yeah, when I was at her shop, she gave me a little tour, and that thing is so cool. I love that it's so low to the ground, and like the shop. She also has a shop bot, and it's like what's the height of?
Yeah, the shop bots are higher.
Yeah.
Is that
but
because
the Laguna was nice that it was so low?
Does it have do you think it's higher because it has a vacuum table, or does the Laguna also have a vacuum table?
The Laguna has a vacuum table as well. Yeah. The shop bot, the reason why they make it larger is so you can add a conveyor table to the back.
Oh.
So you can already have preloaded material and just shoot it in and out.
Wow. That's another level though, man. That's
crazy.
It's a legit commercial machine. Yeah. It's not, hobby, and it's not hobby friendly. It's a commercial environment machine. Yeah. It's not whatsoever hobby friendly. The Laguna though, the Laguna is awesome because it does sit low, and I've seen some people raise it on center blocks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it is really low machine.
It is really low, yeah.
Which
even for me, it was low. I think it was only like maybe like 20 or 24, 30 inches off the ground.
It's a chair height.
Yeah.
For that, which is, it's not bad if you're loading material.
Yeah, if you're loading full sheets of 3/4 inch MDF, which is heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super heavy. Yeah.
It's awesome. That's really cool. Laguna's nice. It's expensive though. Jeez.
Yeah, they're so expensive. Oh my god.
Hey man, I was looking at.
So is the Axiom.
The Axiom is too, because the Axiom has cornered like the hobbyist, like semi weekend warrior market.
Right.
So it's not as expensive, but it's not cheap, and it's pretty good, pretty solid.
Yeah.
For how they're built, they're rigid and stuff like that. And Rockler carries them. I go to Rockler in Orlando, and I'm always messing around with the CNCs. Like, we take a class. I'm like, this is just amateur hour, man. Get out of here.
Yes, Arturo does know what he's doing when it comes to a CNC.
Yeah, that's
everything else is pretty questionable. But
everything else is questionable. CNC,
oh man,
this guy puts ketchup on bacon. So he's untrustworthy to begin with.
So Alma, as far as like commissions and dealing with customers, any like things that stand out in your head as far as like difficult customers or difficult projects or anything like that? Like
No, I'm pretty lucky that I get to kind of pick and choose what jobs I am going to take on. So, you kind of know right off the bat if someone's emailing you about every like little thing or I don't know. I feel like I can tell right away, and usually I just pass.
Really?
Like if it doesn't feel right, like I just pass. And I mean, it's not. A lot of it too is like I don't have the time to waste. So I would rather than just, hey, I have this other friend who can do this probably a lot quicker than I could. So I've tried to make a little bit of a network here in Chicago of people that I can kind of also trust that I'm going to refer.
Sure.
So, but I don't really have any bad like client commission, stories.
No?
Like I've been pretty lucky.
Geez, good for you. Like I was going to say before, like you can usually tell right away, like you said. You could tell right away if they're going to micromanage the hell out of you, or if they're going to like come up with a bunch of weird requests. I can also tell right away. But the magic word that you said that I have a very difficult time with is saying, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to pass.
Right.
Like that I just it's not in my vocabulary at all. I just can't. I don't know.
Right.
I want to be the guy to fix it. What?
I said I just send them to Dusko when they.
That's true.
Difficult. Like, here, you deal with them.
Yeah. Oh, well then, Dusko doesn't have any trouble saying no. He'll just be like, "You're crazy. No, sorry." I'm like, I want to be everybody's friend. I want to help you. I'm sorry, And then I'll wind up throwing in a free bench at the end of
it. Oh my gosh. Well, actually, so speaking of sort of networking in your area, Alma, like this sort of brings me to the fact that you are like queen networker of the entire woodworking community. Like the community seems to be very, very important to you. And so in a very fun, open-ended question, why?
Why not? Right?
Cheers.
Arturo's face.
Thank you for
the drama unfolds.
Thanks for muting the mic, Arturo, while you're fucking eating.
It's bread. I don't need to mute the mic. You don't hear this. This is Cuban bread. It
sounds like my dog licking himself. Like, But yeah, like, I mean, just to further expand upon that a little bit, like for people that don't know, at Workbench Con, you did an awesome meet and greet that had an amazing turnout. Like you're always keyed in with everybody. You're supportive of the little guy. I mean, I know that like when I was getting started, you and I talked a lot. You were very supportive and, awesome about handling all my dick jokes and, weird shit. So, the fact is that, you are a star when it comes to that. And I would like to sort of get your perspective, first off, as to how you got into that. And then secondly, as to like why that was so important to you.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really easy to start, which I actually get a lot of people that will DM me and ask like, hey, one, will you follow me back? And two, how do I get more followers, right? Everybody wants more followers, whether they say that they do or not. Like they're lying. They do. If they didn't care, they wouldn't be on Instagram, right? Like, or they wouldn't be asking me or whatever.
That's a good point.
On Instagram if you didn't care. Like, but I think it's really easy to just get started. Is you're already in a group of people. Like you're already following people that you have a common interest in. So it's like, boom, there it is. Like start talking about what I mean, here you go. Ask me about my wood, right? Like, just ask questions to,
This is like when you're watching a movie and then they say the name of the title in the movie.
It's like wearing the name of the band you're going to see on your shirt. Like,
oh, God. Do they ever say the words Die Hard in Die Hard?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
no,
I really don't think so.
That hurts my heart.
That's Christmas movie.
Sorry, Alma, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think it's really easy. It's for me, and it's been a long process in my life. Maybe it's because I'm older, but it's a lot easier to be nice to people. So throwing out compliments, everyone's on Instagram. You want to hear those nice things. Like I'm going to put a photo out there and I don't want to get trolled. I want people to tell me how great it is. So you want to tell that to other people as well, right? Like, or you should start to tell that to other people. Like, if you like, a table that PJ made, then you should tell him, like, hey, it's a really great table, or, how did you do that? Like, asking those questions, and then, starting that conversation is where it begins, and why it's so important is, that's all we have is this community. If we can't help each other, then we're not going to go anywhere. Like, none of us are going to go anywhere. We're not going to build a clientele, whether or not it's about followers for you. For someone like me, followers were important in the beginning. And then I realized, like, what followers could actually do. I don't care about the sponsorships and the free stuff. Like, those are all really great, but they're also a lot of work to do if that's your goal. Or being a content creator, don't really care about that. Only because time, right? I don't have the time. But where followers did, like, where it helped me out was finding those local jobs, like the clientele. If I can grow that base, then, it's going to get out there, by tagging Chicago, tagging Illinois, like doing that different, Chicago woodworker. It actually does work. Most of the stuff that I get, most of the jobs, it's probably 90%, 95% is from Instagram. So that's where it's important, is if you really want to help, your fellow woodworker, once you've started to reach out and build your sort of community, like, then give them a shout out, pass work along. If they're in another state and you don't think that you can ship or whatever, but, start to make those connections, and the rest will start, growing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is awesome. And you also have the coveted swipe up feature, right?
Ooh, coveted.
Yeah, once you hit 10,000, it's like,
oh no,
it's really like,
it's gonna be a while.
It's the only thing. Like, once you hit 10,000, there's no reason to try anymore, other than, like, it's like, how big your dick is by going, like, to constantly keep going, like, because you're not going to get anything more at 20,000 or 30,000. It's.
I have a friend who was saying, he's like, I've got, his wife and he have, like, this lady in the Philippines who they've, like, hired through, I don't know, Fiverr or something to, like, get him more followers for, like, $3 an hour or something along those lines.
Nice.
And it's working, but it's slow, but whatever. Anyway, and he's trying to get a genuine following, and as weird as that sounds, like, for what he does as far as product sales, it actually works. Like, he's linking into people that are interested in what he does, and then it translates into product sales. But he's like, as soon as I hit 10,000, he's like, it's over. Like, I'm stopping paying.
Right.
That's all he wants. He's like, I just need the swipe up feature so that way I can send people to, this website, send them here, just to redirect them back to my products for online sales. I was like, oh man, like, brilliant.
It's exactly why I wanted 10,000. Being able to redirect people to my website when I do post something, or, an Amazon affiliate link. Like, when you think about all those ways, or to sort of make that, what do they call it, passive income?
Yeah. It's annoying right now, like, with the YouTube channel that I just launched, because as much as I would love to have the swipe up feature, because it makes it so much easier to keep, I think the other thing too is it keeps people on platform in a sense, because it's not like it opens up a separate browser that's completely separate from Instagram.
Right.
It opens up the window, but it's still in Instagram. So, they can watch the video, they can do all the stuff, but you're still sort of under the parent of Instagram.
Right.
Because people don't want to go off platform, which is...
Well, it's not so much people. Like, Instagram doesn't want you to go off platform.
That too.
So, the more you stay on their platform, the more you're going to fit into their algorithm and get more follows, likes, views, whatever you're going after. So
interaction.
Right.
Engagement, I guess, is the magic word.
Engagement.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
PJ, you look really pensive right now.
I was thinking about the word algorithm. Like, I've heard it.
Limit.
Like, algorithm. It's such a funny word, algorithm, and I know it's like math, but I just don't know how any of it works. It's like you know, like the cloud. Like, where does all your information go? It's just in the cloud, man. It's,
the cloud.
you know, the algorithm.
The cloud is a physical location.
It's like they just write it off. Who are the people that write it off? I don't know.
It's probably a fake word. I mean, I guess all words are fake words technically, but like
It's man-made.
probably just something that they just made up like 10 years ago to explain something.
Yeah, to explain a formula.
Which I guess is language in general, but whatever.
Language. Oh, geez. Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe the part of the pensive look might come from the fact that I've been up since like 4:45 this morning. I ran down to Arturo's shop to pick up a bunch of flats on white oak plywood.
Yeah, you got both, right?
And I got the one behind your machine too. Like Arturo.
Oh, the little one?
Yeah, the little half-inch one. Oh, you wanted to keep that?
No, I really didn't. It was like a 1/4 inch or whatever.
Yeah. But so I picked up all this plywood and then I brought it. And then like yesterday, last minute, Dusko, who's the guy that I'm getting this plywood for, he's like, "Hey, bro, while you're here, since you have a truck, like, do you think we can grab like 4 sheets of MDF?" I'm like, "Sure, no problem, man. Of course." So being that it was, you know, now 5:30 in the morning, and I'm like passing a Home Depot, I just stopped. I got 4 sheets of 3/4 inch MDF, which again, to reference MDF's weight, is ridiculously heavy. So I load up all that stuff in the truck, ride down to frickin' Kendall, and like I think when Arturo sent the link for this podcast, I was still on the turnpike. I'm like, I gotta hurry up and get home so I can, you know, wait for Alma to find headphones.
1 hour later.
Yeah, it's been a long day so far.
As a side tangent, Alma, how do you fit full sheets of plywood into the sidecar on your motorbike to take home from
I cut it up into smaller pieces.
Oh, do you?
That's actually not her primary form of transportation, but I fucking love the fact that she has a motorcycle with a sidecar.
Sidecar.
That's cool. That is very cool. I follow a guy in California, Knothead Custom Sawing. He's got an old Army motorcycle with a sidecar like that, like a legit, you know, decommissioned Army. So the olive drab green with the big star on it. It's pretty cool.
That's so cool.
You should do that with yours, Alma. Just paint it like a, you know, military colors.
Alma, you got a couple bikes too, right? Like not just that one.
I think Alma's frozen.
God.
Oh no.
I mean, she's beautiful in her frozenness, but
I wonder if she can still hear us.
CNC guy has one.
Oh, wow.
With the texture?
Brian Braun, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta find one.
That's cool, man.
We could all do this.
No, I don't want to do that.
Why not?
It's dangerous.
oh my God.
Well, slanging chainsaws is not dangerous.
That's true.
Alma just texted me.
Yeah, tell her to get out and go back in. No big deal.
She said her whole computer's frozen.
Oh no.
Oh man.
All right. Well, to those of you listening, we'll see you next week.
Oh geez.
Oh, I forgot to ask her about Texas.
Yeah.
Damn it. All right.
You have to ask her, man. You text me to tell you to ask her.
You're right. Okay, she's out. All right,
yeah.
well, let's continue.
I said we'll keep going on and then just try to come back in when you can. So.
Yeah. So,
what am I working on? Is that
is that what you want to ask?
Yeah. What are you working on, Chris? You got that concrete table you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Talk to me about that. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. So and it's one of those typical things, I guess, with the whole YouTube thing is like you sort of try to keep things under wraps until you start actually doing them because
you don't tell your friends.
Yeah, well, like I mean, you tell your friends, but I guess like
hey, Arturo, he told his friends already.
I guess. Sorry. Oh.
But you try to not broadcast it on the interwebs and stuff. So like I hadn't really done a ton of content. I've been like super quiet all week about it too. But so yeah, I'm doing and it's a mouthful, and that's also what she said. But a split top, live edge inlaid GFRC patio table with a Shoshigi band base with some Japanese style. Well, I guess it's not Japanese style joinery because I don't know if the Japanese had castles, but they are castle joints primarily on the bottom.
Well, that's Chinese. Never mind. I was gonna say the Great Wall kind of looks like a
Yeah.
Chinese
It's a
wood.
palace, I guess, is what they
Close.
had. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, it's a lot of shit. So
With the bevels, I think the bevels make it
the
Japanese.
bevels make
know?
it Asian AF.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
and it's cedar and Shoshugi band. There's a lot of elements going on. I'm really swinging for the fences here and ticking off all the boxes on what makes shit cool on YouTube right now.
Attaboy.
So,
man.
but honestly, I mean, listen, I just needed a nice patio table, and it's outdoor furniture season right now as far as everything's concerned. So I was like, what?
It's always outdoor furniture season.
Yeah, but for the rest
Florida,
of the country, that's
the rest of the audience and the rest of the world. Oh,
yeah,
that's
She's back. She's back.
She's back. Yes.
Shh.
Oh, different view. All right.
I'm gonna listen to this later.
yeah.
Maybe.
No,
Probably not.
We didn't say
Probably not.
anything.
no, we're gonna edit it out. We'll edit most of it out.
We usually do. We turned an hour into like 10 minutes, and that's it. Call
Yeah.
it.
It's me usually doing the intro and then 5 seconds of nonsense and then PJ doing the outro and we're
Yeah,
done.
and with some music in the background sprinkled on top of it.
But okay, so yeah, the inlaid wood though in the GFRC is actually the live edge maple that is like the first piece of wood I ever got from PJ.
Oh,
Which
Aw.
is adorable. But it's also hilarious because it's like the wood that keeps on giving, because literally I've done like at least 5 to 6 projects out of it.
That's what I like to call myself.
Yeah, so it's been good. And yeah, it's god damn it. Dogs are going nuts right now. It's a perfect storm of bullshit right now. Is really what's happening.
Have you used Shoshugi Pod the cedar?
I've never used it on cedar. I've used it on pine before.
Yeah, I've done it on pine.
And I just Googled what it would look like on cedar. And I mean, it works. I mean, it's got like kind of a reddish undertone, obviously, but yeah, it's black as fuck. And I mean, the more you burn it, obviously, it'll get that alligator skin look. Yeah. I kind of want to get it pretty black, to be honest. Like,
are you gonna use the propane tank?
I'm gonna use the weed burning torch.
You have to get it like that dark, because the blowtorch won't do it.
The blowtorch will do it, but it just takes
too long though.
It's too small, and
you got to get the alligator skin. I mean, if you're just like doing the grain and then like trying to stain it in between to give it that burn with a color look, that's okay. But if you're trying to make the alligator skin, you have to use the propane.
Yeah. Well, I did the alligator skin on pine on a bookshelf that I made a while back. You can actually, if you go on my Instagram, it's in my story highlights where I'm like burning it. But yeah, like it got the alligator skin look, but it just took forever. Yeah. Like I probably sat there with the blue, not even the map gas, like the blue.
Oh, jeez, how painful!
Like all day. Yeah. It was sad. I remember, actually probably right when I first started talking to Alma. I think it was like a few years ago. Yeah.
That's funny.
I remember like kind of reading an article about it was a plumbing article, because it was in my old house. Like I just looked up something about plumbing, and my whole life I figured propane torch is the way to go for sweating copper pipes. And I remember like glancing at the end of an article, and somebody mentioned that MAP gas burns like 3 times hotter than propane, and it'll change your life. And I didn't even finish reading that article. I left my house and went to Home Depot to go buy this yellow can instead of the blue can, and I've never looked back.
Yep,
like
it's a hell of a difference.
Yeah,
and how quick it gets to temperature. That's
man. Yeah, like within less than 10 seconds to sweat a 3/4 inch copper joint. Like you're talking less than 10 seconds from start to finish. It's pretty interesting. Sorry to get off topic.
No, but here's actually an interesting follow-up question to that, because I'm a little curious. It doesn't take a different torch head on it, does it?
No,
so you literally just take the yellow bottle and just plug it in there?
Yeah, it's just 2 different gases. So go buy the yellow bottle, which the expensive part is the head.
Mm-hmm.
The
head is like $30.
The kit, so the kit is like $50-something for the MAP gas one, and for the propane, it's only like 30 or something like that. And I was always curious why it was so much more expensive, because if you look at the bottles, the replacement bottles, there's not that much variance in the price, really. Like I know MAP gas is a little more expensive, but not like
they figured, just like part of the reason that Makita tools might be a little bit more expensive, man. If you're even looking at it, that means you know what you're doing, so they're going to charge you more for it.
Yeah, but it does burn a lot better. like significantly better.
Yeah, tons. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm doing that base with the cedar, and then I'm gonna blacken the hell out of it, and it's gonna be kind of interesting because I don't think I'm gonna use any glue on the base at all. I'm just gonna, because with the castle joints,
You don't need to.
Yeah, it's all friction fit, and then you just drive a big ass screw down the middle of it.
Attaboy.
I've got a headlock. That I'm gonna use. Yeah, I actually got to swap. I think the headlock out because I bought the 6 3/4 inch headlock, which is long, but I think it might be a little overkill because I'm using 2x4s, like, and that's 3.5. I mean, does it really need to go 3.5 inches into the 4x4?
Yes, yes, it does, because you're screwing into the end grain of a 4x4, dude.
Yeah,
you don't want to only go in 1.5 inches or 2 inches. You want to go.
This is perfect.
No, I'm serious. Like, that screwing into end grain is not as strong as screwing into side grain. So, not in a sexual way. Just go.
How many inches do you think I should go in? Like, do you think 3 3/4 is sufficient, or 4?
That's about all.
I mean, I'm just the tip type of girl.
Frankly, like, if it's 3 3/4 to 4, that's all I got. Like, so,
yeah, like if you're asking for 4.5, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Get out of luck.
Oh God.
Oh God. Yeah. And just to give you some perspective on the amount of C's that the 4x4 is, it's only 3.5 inches.
Yeah,
like
3 C's is good enough. Yeah,
I mean, that's not even really 3 C's though, in reality.
Yeah.
Speaking of C's, did you see the was it a post or was it a story that AC Nailed It did with the modified lumber gauge?
Oh, that was awesome.
I almost cried laughing. That was good.
It was like a lumber thickness gauge or something like that.
With the C's.
Yeah, like thick, regular spelling of thick.
2 C's, 3 C's, and then like damn.
That was awesome. That was very good. Very clever.
We owe that guy stickers. I feel really bad about that.
I know. We gotta send him, man. I blame you because you're procrastinating all the time.
Yeah, I have a whole stack of envelopes sitting in a basket. They're already like
a sticker.
What?
Stickers.
You don't have a sticker from me?
Cow dog?
Yeah, you don't have a sticker?
Alma, I gotta send you my sticker too.
No, I don't think I do.
I don't have
you have a shirt.
I send you this shirt. Yeah, I gotta send you a shirt too. Check out my new threads, my happenings.
What?
Yeah, right.
Titties. Look at them titties.
Oh. Shit.
Yeah, PJ's going on a carb-free diet right now to actually reduce his titties. So
that's
actually, a little bit of a little keto challenge, but
except for those chicken nuggets you were stealing last night. But
I know, man. Well, yeah, just the breading. I'm allowed 50 carbs a day, man. Come on, give me a break.
I'll have one.
Probably 50 grams of carbs in one bite of chicken nugget. You're right.
I love chicken nuggets so much. I love fried chicken. Like, it is
so good.
I love anything fried, pretty much.
Yeah.
My first order.
Fried pickles, so good.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
PJ and I got fried pickles when we went
on
to
our first
Wing
date.
House. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so romantic. It's a very romantic podcast we're doing.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Did you guys all meet like before you were on Instagram, or did Instagram draw everybody? Because you guys seem to have a pretty good community down there now.
Instagram.
Now. Yeah.
Now. We're a little dysfunctional. So.
Well, PJ and I met in the first grade, but outside of that, everybody else has met on Instagram.
Yeah. The community started with the chat between Chris, myself, and Dusko, because Dusko was our first CNC friend.
Right.
Because you were our first CNC friend, but he was our first local CNC friend.
Right.
That we could actually like drive to his house in a reasonable amount of time, even though it's like Key West.
And
but
it's a suspect neighborhood.
Yes, yeah, it's a very nice neighborhood. We're not, whatever.
Yeah,
and
actually,
then,
this is
grew,
funny.
the whole chat room, the chat on Instagram grew from that 3 people. We just kind of added people.
Right.
And the reason I reached out to Dusko actually was because I was actually going to have Alma do the stencil for that axe throwing bar.
Yeah.
And then she did one of those things where she says, "No, sorry, I don't have time," and she passed him.
And I was like, "Hey, call this dude Dusko, and we'll do it."
No, because it was the way it worked. I remember I had sent Alma a cutting board blank that I had.
Yeah.
Because I needed it cut into some stupid like bull's head or something. This lady was like, "Yeah, that's what I want." I was like, "Okay."
She's listening right now, dude. Come on.
she's not listening. There's like 4 people fucking listening.
And the 4 are right here.
Oh, I don't listen.
So yeah, like
We know.
oh god, I sent it away to her, and she did an amazing job on it. But then I remember thinking, I was like, fuck, like if we're gonna do this stencil thing, like the last thing I want to do is like have her try to figure out how to ship back, this like giant stencil. Like it was like, that's gonna be really annoying. Then Dusko had started following me at some point, like in that meanwhile, and I was like, I'm gonna reach out to this guy, and hopefully he won't murder us. So. That was also the theme of that first trip down to Dusko's was like, I literally brought PJ to make sure like we didn't die or I die. I didn't really care whether or not he died. But
thanks, man.
Yeah. I was like, we're taking my truck just in case, you get stabbed and then I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
Oh gosh. But anyway, yeah. So we've done a pretty good job, I think, of getting a little, community crew down here. And, we all sort of pitch work to each other that nobody takes. So that's cool. Yeah.
We do. And we all do a little bit of different stuff, which is quite interesting with so many people. We're like 12 deep. And it's just, we're all pretty unique.
Yeah.
When it comes to what we do.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I think that's really cool because you guys do sort of different stuff, but also sort of the same, right? Like,
yeah, we're all
it's
capable of the same stuff, really.
Yeah.
It's related to wood, so I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like builds and things like that. Like, it's not just all CNC or that type of stuff. Because I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of when it comes to reaching out, especially if this is your business. Like I've found like people hold their jobs, their pay, their clients, other makers, like they kind of hold that close to them.
Yeah.
Even once you start, like, I am pretty involved in the community, but it's also really hard to get that trust in there. I think people are afraid that work's going to be gone, but it's so not true. I mean, if you think about how much is really out there.
I think it was a topic we've done like a while ago that all of our significant others had mentioned, like how you guys are all talking to each other. Yet you're all your best competition. You're all
competition.
But realistically, we don't exactly, we have our own style towards everything.
Right.
Excuse me. So there's no,
Arturo gets really choked up when he talks about this stuff.
No, actually, when you guys were talking about the sinus, I had the sinus infection. I did the saline wash yesterday, and I couldn't breathe anymore.
Yeah.
And
Medipod? Like, were you?
No, I used the pump, the one that's the bottle. It's a
okay.
Awesome. Yeah, that one. I had chunks of wood coming out.
Oh my god. Okay, that's
disgusting.
Yes, that is amazing.
It's pretty bad. But going back to that, we all do unique things, and we have a unique flavor towards everything, But it works out because let's say I need a slab for a countertop that I did a week ago. Called up PJ.
Where would you get something like that? Yeah,
I know, locally. I was like, damn, you know what? I want to use local wood instead of bringing it in from Iowa or Wisconsin or whatever. Hey, Pete, you got something this size? It's like, oh yeah, look, I got this, I got that. I was like, oh, that's sweet, man, and it works out because I'll finish it, I'll do all that, but I don't have local access to slabs. But now with PJ, we do.
Yeah. So to be clear, you didn't go to Michael Sarin. You went to PJ Fetcher, right?
Oh, Jesus.
I have no idea who that is, but yeah.
I know.
And it should stay that way. Otherwise, PJ will stab you in the kidney.
Yeah, there's a local guy, and I've been meaning to actually add him to the chat, but selfishly I haven't. Because he's a sawmill guy, and I'm like, nah, pal. Like, it's my territory. These are my friends, okay? Like, I'm not.
I cut that oval out for that other sawmill guy down in.
Yeah, he's far enough away though.
He's far enough away. Dude. He's like, I'm not coming up here again. It's way too far. I'm like,
you just can't let him and Dusko know that they each exist.
Well, Dusko already went.
Dusko follows him and everything.
Dusko went farther north than me to buy stuff from this guy Michael Sarin after we'd already been friends for like 6 months.
Oh damn!
It was not 6 months. It was like 6 fucking days, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we haven't known each other for 6 months, so I know that's not really true.
That's true. It hasn't been that long at all, man. It feels like forever though.
It was like January, February, when we all come collect.
PJ's like, how dare this guy invite us into his home and do this acrylic cutting for free and then feed us dinner and show us a great time, and then he goes and buys some wood.
And he didn't kill you. And he didn't kill you. So, so this pot.
All right. See that, Dusko, I know you're listening right now, man. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that.
He has in the last year, quote unquote, he hasn't forgotten about it.
I mean, the ironic part, now that I'm remembering all this, is that the Dusko bought Indian rosewood from this guy, and PJ has like stacks of Indian rosewood. Stacks and stacks.
But in Dusko's defense, though, I did post some. I cut some Indian rosewood cookies, about 24-inch diameter cookies. And he commented on one of the pictures, like, "Oh man, you got to save me one of those." And I didn't respond to
So now,
the ball's in my court, I guess. Like, yo, okay, yeah, Dusko, would you like one of these slabs? Yeah, sure, man. Okay, just just remember where you got it. That's all. I'm sorry. I'm very petty, Alma. If you haven't realized yet.
Stamp your logo on the top and the bottom, and that's it.
Yeah, really big burly dude. PJ's extra sensitive about stuff.
That's true.
He's very, very sensitive.
So speaking of, bye, baby, love you. No, Pam's on her way to dance class, Saturday morning dance class. Mila's wearing her little tutu, and she's going out the door. Cute little thing. Anywho, so yeah, what was I talking about? Being sensitive? Yeah.
You wanted to ask.
No, speaking of thickness, I wanted to mention this before when we were talking about AC Nailed It's thickness gauge. I'm working on, to piggyback off of Chris's use of cedar, I'm working on a legit 4-inch thick top, a big, like literally, I'm going to call this one the Viking table, because it's 10 feet long, 42 inches wide, and 4 inches thick. It's made primarily of 4x6 cedar beams. So they're huge and it's heavy, and the legs are actually 6x8. Stretchers are made of 10-quarter by 6, and it's got those turnbuckles. Alma, I don't know if you saw what I posted yesterday.
I did.
Turnbuckles. That's the triangular structure of threaded rod underneath to kind of hold the legs stable. But I flipped it over. I took a video of myself flipping it over, but it was a bad angle. My hair didn't look very good, so I'm not going to post it. Like of me flipping the thing over alone in the shop. It was pretty scary, but it's sitting on 4 legs, and it's I wanted to get it done today because I'm going out of town. I'm actually leaving in Texas tomorrow for school. It's like a workshop type of thing. I'm going to Pflugerville in Texas to learn about geometry and carpentry. It's for the upcoming school year. I'm going to be teaching a geometry and carpentry class, which should be fun because I get to kind of, I'm usually out on an island as a teacher. Like I always teach a subject that nobody else teaches at the school, so I never get to bounce ideas off of people. But now this time I'll be able to work with the math department. Actual math teachers that teach geometry that are probably better at that stuff than I am. I could throw my little flavor in there. But
awesome.
Remind me, I gotta ask you, Alma, like, how do you know where Pflugerville is? Like, I gotta find out. I want to go see April's sawmill in Texas. That'll be so cool. Since I'm in the area, I'm
good luck finding her.
Oh, I know, right? She's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I don't even know where I was. They blindfolded me and threw me in a van, and yeah.
That's awesome.
And all of a sudden they take me off and I'm in her shop, so I have no idea.
And you had bruises all over and stuff. Like
they chloroformed you?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Hey, awesome. Alma, does this rag smell like chloroform?
Let me see.
It's just mineral spirits.
No, that's brush cleaner. That's heavy duty stuff. Yeah, but I'm pretty pumped about learning new stuff, and I think along the lines of building community and talking to new people and getting over the hump of sharing your business with other people. All of us are guilty of getting in comfort zones and not really wanting to not wanting to learn new stuff, but saying like, oh, I've got all this prior knowledge, I already know how to do that. I basically know how to do that. Like I and you kind of shy away from sitting down and taking an actual class, like a formal class that you have to pay for, and you go and actually learn and practice a new skill. So I'm excited for that. I haven't learned anything new in a while, so I'm ready for it.
That's awesome.
You know what?
That is pretty cool.
You're awesome.
Your face is awesome.
Awesome face.
I've actually been
Goes to
avoiding trying to do a through mortise for either a bench or a table. That's been
Why, dude?
What? He has a giant mortise.
Have a chain mortiser.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you just use it?
because I want to do it with the I want to do it the hard way. Okay,
What?
That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, sure.
But-
Go ahead.
It's still one of those things where like
I know.
yeah, like it's intimidating. It's intimidating as hell. Yeah,
Like launching a YouTube channel.
and it's also one of and then, like the way I want to do it too is with the angled mortise, so that way when you spread with the wedgies that it locks in. So I mean, I guess the chain mortiser can do that too, though, right? Like,
yes, it can.
you just do it one angle and then flip it and go to the other side.
No, but actually, yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely. It totally can.
Just do it at an angle.
Yeah,
You do it, but you're right. You will have to flip the board.
and I could even do it with the domino. I mean, there's no reason I couldn't. I just have to knock out the corners.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that we're talking about normal
Through
people dimensions. So
Yeah.
what do you? Yeah, what
we're
are you?
talking about like 6x6s.
I'm thinking like, oh hell yeah, it's like a big piece of 6x8 red cedar or whatever. Like, no, this is a tool for timber framing. Like, which is why I'm not a timber framer by any means, but like, most of my stuff is
The bigger tools are cooler.
like three C's plus.
This is one of those things too that happens a lot with PJ and I, because like I'll bring something over and be like, "Hey man, like this is what I was talking about." And he's like, "Oh fuck, like yeah, that's about 7 times smaller than I thought it was going to be."
Oh, just 7.
Which is Chris gets that all the time.
Exactly. And it's like, all right, like if this was actually going to be used on this, it would explode. So
Yes.
we're going to go to this completely different alternative. Yeah.
Man,
I mean, that's pretty typical.
Yeah.
Like if I had a hollow chisel mortiser, that'd be something too. But I kind of want to try it
I have one
without.
of those too, actually.
I've seen it. I've never
Yeah.
used yours, but I
Yeah.
have seen it. But yeah,
That
that's
was
one of those
back in the
things.
day. That was back in my Wood Whisperer days, man. When I was like the only channel that I subscribed to on YouTube was the Wood Whisperer, and he had that badass like floor standing Powermatic hollow chisel mortiser.
That thing is badass.
And then I found one on Craigslist, and I went over and made friends with the guy and bought it. Got a great deal. I think I got it for like $200, which in hindsight wasn't that great of a deal, but whatever. I wanted it really badly, and I was so blinded by the fact that I wanted one that I didn't realize that the biggest that it can go is 1/2 an inch of a mortise. Like the biggest chisel is a 1/2 inch chisel. And on that particular model, it's an older Delta model. They don't make a 3/4 inch chisel that goes in there. So I quickly learned that I had to, like,
Multiple runs.
yeah, exactly. Like do three next to each other, and then slide it over 1/4 inch and do 3 more. But then that got frustrating. So I'm like, screw this, whatever. But Arturo saw the other day, I actually showed him the chain mortiser in action. And it's you clamp it onto the edge of a board, man, and I'm holding with one hand, and you let the weight of the tool bring the chain, and it goes 6.5 inches.
You go smooth as heck, man. I didn't know it was like that. That is just you were just staring at me.
Really accurate sound. Too. That's exactly how it sounds.
So here's an interesting thing that I've been thinking about this a lot, and
okay,
yeah. So I know bad news when I start thinking about stuff, but
unsubscribe.
Oh, my internet's acting up
internet's
again.
frozen. Oh no.
But like I've been messing around a lot with some hand tools, and I have a theory that beginning woodworkers don't utilize hand tools as much as they should.
Nope, I only have a Japanese pool saw, and that's it.
But you're not a beginning woodworker.
No, but when I started,
Yes, he
that's
is.
all I had. Like, yeah, I'm a very amateur when it comes to woodworking. I'm super amateur with that stuff.
I just think that, like, let's say Karen in the suburbs who wants to get into like some DIY stuff, like, she is.
I might herself, man.
Yeah, but like all these things have, I think, an element of danger to them, an element of
there's a strict learning curve.
Yeah, and
safety and actually using it. Yeah.
Safety, accuracy, like I think when people get started, like they keep busting out all these power tools to try to like say sneak up on a cut or something. And, like that's way beyond their skill set. It's like, dude, like just take a chisel and like, pare that off or something, or like use a handsaw and a miter box or something. If you want to get like a 45, like, what are you doing? Like going out and buying a $300 miter saw when, Karen, you've been working at this for a week. Like, go to Home Depot and get the little yellow thing with the push.
I was Karen at one point, and I just went balls to the wall, like testicle to the wall, and it.
One testicle, because you didn't use the plural there.
PJ's been he's just been rubbing off with his one testicle. No, I mean, I get it with the hand tools. It's cool and all, but I don't know. I'm not a hand tool kind of guy. Sorry. I mean, I have the Japanese pull saw, which is awesome for like flush trimming stuff.
Yeah, like I'm not saying beginning woodworkers should get into like doing dovetails and stuff, but I'm just saying that like, hey, like if you have
start off with that set.
Yeah, if you have a drill and driver and then you start using some hand tools to like get an appreciation for what the hell you're doing. I mean, most
people aren't looking for an appreciation.
No, they just want to get
the people you're talking about. Karen doesn't care. She just wants to make a DIY. She's following a Pinterest article.
And not spend the whole day trying to make the same thing.
I mean, I think that's where like, people buy into Ryobi. They're cheap enough
to get you started.
And I mean, I'm a fan of the pocket hold for people to get started. I think it's a really great gateway. But I don't think everybody like, to me, using that yellow box and thing, like that was so frustrating. Like I would have, if I had to keep using that, I would have. I've used it a couple of times on tiny pieces, but it was well after I bought tools. Like then I was like, oh, I should grab this for, super tiny pieces when I'm trying to be quiet in the middle of the night. Like, no.
Have you ever used your Japanese pull saw in your yellow miter box, like on the crosscut?
No.
Ooh.
I have like the tiniest Japanese pull saw. Like it's like.
Have you ever used a miter saw?
I don't really need anything that crazy.
Have you ever used a miter saw for a crosscut?
Or a table saw?
Or a table saw?
A crosscut sled, yeah.
Or just drop in the CNC? Life hack. I used that yellow box, man, at Home Depot, and it was the most frustrating thing.
It sucks, right?
I threw the saw one way, and they had the base screwed to like that giant cart, and I couldn't throw that, and I would have thrown it. It was the biggest piece of crap.
It's like a husky, it's a husky back saw, and it's like been used for 30 years at the same place. There's no teeth left on it.
To be fair, I went to the saw, like the pool saw area, and grabbed one off the. Oh no, I grabbed the one off the wall and used.
Oh. And so the first time I had this thought though was when I got the Kumiko kit from Bike City Woodworks.
Okay.
So like doing, and actually, I have it right here.
I see it back there.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So for those of you who aren't watching this because, like nobody's watching this right now, the Kumiko kit is these tiny little, we call them little slats, I guess, that are arranged in a very ornate way. This thing's gross, by the way, super dusty. But, all the pieces were a little bit oversized and they're tiny. Like, so you can't you can take them over the table saw and trim them up. You can use them on a miter saw, but like really you're using this jig and you're pairing with a chisel, or you're using one of those tiny little trim planes, the little thumb planes to like get it down to size to like do some really accurate stuff. And that was the first time I remember even really touching like hand tools and stuff. So I was pretty freaked out by this, and once I did that, I was like, oh man, like I could use so many more applications with like smaller hand tools to get a more accurate fit on my actual woodworking.
I remember the first time you used a hand tool in my shop.
Yeah, which one?
The block plane.
Oh, when it fucking snagged and it dropped it.
Oh man, that was awesome.
But see, Chris, you have an appreciation.
Yes, obviously he's passionate about it, because after that day of dropping my little block plane, which is another thing I never forgot. After that day, he like became a student of hand tool woodworking, and hats off to you. Like,
appreciation.
Read as much as you can, practice as much as you can. You got into sharpening the card scraper. That's like, kudos, man. Like when you're passionate about something, that's where I probably say this on every episode, but like, I'm sure you get, Chris, like you get DMs about, oh my God, how do how do you do this and how do you do that? And it's like kind of frustrating for you. Unless you like actually answering the same question 400 times. But for you, it's like, dude, you have the internet at your fingertips. Like, you're using the internet right now to ask me. Just get out there and do it. If you actually cared, in my opinion, giving people, showing people how you did something after they DM you about it. Like, how did you do this? And then you go, let's say you take the time and you give them some long 2-paragraph explanation about how you did something. It's almost like giving your best friend like relationship advice about, after a breakup, and then the next day they're back together kind of thing. Listen, if you really were 100% about asking me how to do this, or you really wanted to do this, you would do it. You would find a way to do it. And it doesn't involve me, typing 2 paragraphs about how I did it. You figure it out. You learn, you observe other people, and you get it done for yourself.
Yeah. So to put this into a little bit of context, I'm actually going to do, at least for the cards. So I get constantly asked, how do I burnish a card scraper? That's like the most asked question I get all the time, to the point that like people actually want me to video myself while I'm doing it, like in a chat. They're like, show me what you, I'm like, no, dude, like, I'm not doing that. Like when Brian came down here, it was at least easy. Brian from Rowan and Witch, because, he'd said it. He's like, I'm bringing my card scraper down. I want you to show me how you burnish it and how to use it. And I was like, all right, done. So now I'm like, you know what? I know that there's 1,000 card scraper videos out there in the world, but like, I'm going to do one. Like, I'm going to do a card scraper video just so I can send it to somebody, be like, all right, like, you've asked me this question. Here's the link. Go drive up my engagement. And, I don't have to sit here and give you a whole diatribe on how to do this.
Ooh, diatribe. That's a good word.
Just put it in your swipe up.
Ooh,
got him.
Got him.
7,000 short of that. It's okay. What I'll do is I'll send you the link, and then you can do
it.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
That was been one of the biggest helps of getting my channel off to not a huge start, but a nice start so far.
Yeah, like good start, man. I like your videos.
I've had a couple guys. I'll shout them out right now. Johnny Lambert from Johnny Builds and Industrial Maker Mike Clifford threw me in their swipe ups, and Alicia, Pneumatic Addict, also. So those 3 swipe ups really helped. Not gonna lie. NGL fam.
NGL. Oh, Norwegian Cruise Lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I'll throw you a swipe up when we're done.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks.
Oh, you're talking to Chris? Oh, sorry.
I've actually been messing around with Reddit a little bit the past
Reddit's
week.
cool, man.
I honestly, I was really surprised. Like the
Reddit
Reddit
scares me.
Why?
It's like such like a deep hole. Like I don't get where it starts.
Yeah, that's the dark web. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I also did like as part of like the subreddits, it lets you pick like which ones you want to try out first, and like I threw like a bunch of ones about memes and like shitty food and stuff like that, just so I could like have something to laugh at, because I don't always want to look at woodworking stuff. So dude, the memes they go deep.
They're the best. Well, there's a meme for like everything. I posted the coffee table on the woodworking subreddit.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
I've been active as hell on the woodworking subreddit all week, and
I posted it the day I delivered it. That evening I delivered it.
I've also not seen, because from what I've heard, Reddit's a harsh place for posting stuff like that.
Yeah.
It really is. Like I haven't gotten any negative reactions on any of my stuff. If anything, like it's been largely positive. But then, like, also, I don't think I'm in the subreddit, active in the subreddit that all the YouTube guys are, which is the DIY one. And the DIY one has like 60 people or something that are like.
The woodworking is only like 1 million people or something like that. And they just post like your woodworking, and people make some nice stuff, man.
Dude, I just saw one where it was, and actually Alma might be interested in this too, because it's kind of cool. So it was a mallet, but like where the tenon and the wedges for the handle, there was like a thurkle. So there was a little window so that you could see the wedges like in the handle, like from the side, and it just looks really freaking cool. Like it's a giant hole in the side of your mallet, but like you throw your wedges in there with your thing.
Okay. I mean, is it it's like meant to be removable, or meant to just be able to see the anatomy of a joint?
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just to show the anatomy of it.
Oh,
and it like has no functional purpose.
That's cool.
It's clever as hell. And I was like, I'm stealing that shit. So
That's pretty cool.
That's funny. Speaking of stealing, I posted that thing about the turnbuckles. I got a few questions about that. Like, oh, where'd you find the reverse threaded nuts and the reverse threaded rod? I'm like, nah, it's just for show. Oh, is that it right there?
Yeah, this is it right there.
For those of you listening and not watching, Arturo's showing us a picture
Yeah,
of
but this thing is like epic.
badass mallet
This
with
is like
the window in the side of it, so you can see where
it's
the
not
handle.
focusing right.
And it's got that weird hook.
Look at that thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's like insane. I wouldn't even use it. It's not even fair.
Yes, we know.
Mr.
CNC, you could make it on CNC.
Yeah, I could. I've been wanting to make one. Just haven't had time.
I know she does those custom.
Or this one.
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
CNC made.
That looks like Chris Cunningham's logo right there. That's what it looks like.
Whatever.
That looks cool.
That's a nice
like
mallet.
that.
It's a little small for me, though.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, is that white oak? It looks like white oak to me. That's
It's white oak, yeah.
Yeah, nicely done. Very nice.
With some like Rubio on it.
Ooh. Is there anything inside, or is it just a solid piece of white oak?
No, it's no.
You didn't add like pellets or anything for weight?
This one has BBs and epoxy.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah, so it's heavy.
Okay.
Small, tiny.
Very cool.
That is cool.
Nicely done.
Thanks.
Gotta make some.
Usually I put, I don't know if you guys have seen them, but I'll add like the logos to the side of them.
I saw the one you did for April.
Yeah.
I
made one for her. I made a couple different ones.
You could put this logo on there. You know, see that guy there?
I could. This one's a little small though, you said.
Oh yeah. I need you to make me a
I have a Cunningham one. It's like twice the size of this one.
Really?
It's like, yeah, it's.
Oh, he made you one,
he sent you one? He made a pink. What is that pink? I don't know how he did it, but
pink heart.
It's maple that he dyed pink in his little chain thing.
Yeah, he did in the pressure pot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he threw pink in there, and then it's got an ebony handle, or no, not ebony. Wenge handle.
Ooh.
I remember when he made it because my first thought I was like, "Is that box elder?" Because of the coloring, like it's those weird like pinks, and he's like, "Not fam." Like I just, well, he didn't say fam at all. He actually doesn't know what to talk about off the top.
Doesn't even know who I am.
Yeah.
No, he knows exactly who I am, but he never understands because I'm like speaking in acronyms and slang all the time. And he's like, dude, just speak to me like a normal person. I have to get all lawyerly with Chris Cunningham. It's weird. Then I also had to threaten him with a lawsuit because his wife tried to steal my
business name. Oh man.
Oh man. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, like he used the pressure pot to inject the dye. Well, I don't know if it's inject, fuse, whatever you want to fucking call it.
Yeah, vacuum.
Infuse is a good one. Yeah, because you still want the vacuum.
But they're really big mallets. Like it's huge.
Well, you need a good sized mallet. I used a solid piece of African mahogany from a local tree.
Yeah, that is a
super dense stuff. And you did that. That was like the first time. It's got the markings on it from where I cut out the mortise. My tenon was too small, which again is the story of my life. So there's a little bit of a gap. But that was my first Paul Sellers video that I watched in its entirety. It's like a 4-hour mallet making video. And it's also when I started drinking Bang energy drinks so I could stay awake through the video. But I got it. I watched the whole thing and then went outside and started chopping up a piece of African mahogany. And it's pretty cool. And then I graduated into laminations and doing the hole with the BBs and the glue and whatever to make like a dead blow. And then the mistake that I made was when I bored out the hole, use a Forstner bit to bore out the hole to fill with BBs, right? So from the outside to the actual striking face of the mallet to the hole, there was only I'd say maybe a 1/4 inch of material.
Ooh,
so when I'm like, I used it to bang in like plugs to cover up screw heads. I'd cut a bunch of plugs and use them to bang into the hole to cover up the screw heads on a table. And the end grain of that center piece of the lamination just kind of like blew through. So there's like a clear hole into where the BBs are because I didn't leave enough space. Actually, I ran the grain the wrong way, basically, if I ran the grain parallel to the striking face, it wouldn't have happened. But I ran it perpendicular to the striking face. So like if you're just hammering on end grain, the grain's going to separate and you're going to get a blowout, a pretty significant mallet hemorrhoid, you could call it, you know?
For lack of a better term.
For lack of better terms, man. Yeah, I mean, I still use it. I just whack it on the side now, you know?
Oh, that's true.
But
that'll work.
That's the end of my story.
Yeah, I gotta make one on the CNC. I've been wanting to make one, and I just never have.
Just do it, man. Hey, so are we down later today? I need everyone's help to get rid of this big cedar table. I'm gonna go out right after this PCast and finish inlaying some brackets in each of the top corners of the table. Put some clear on it. You know, the whole underside is finished already. The benches
you
are
put
finished.
the clear. You put the clear on the other side.
I put the clear on the underside. It's got 3 coats of clear on the underside. It's got 5 coats on the benches. Everything is ready to go. I just need to inlay those 2 corner things on the top. They're like these Mexican steel, like the customer bought them in Mexico and brought them here, like fake nail heads and like fake brackets and stuff to kind of make it look really, really rustic. I just basically just hammered all this crap into the table to kind of dress it up a little bit, and I need to cover it with clear coat and it can GTFO because I got to get ready. I always get nervous before traveling, man. I'm excited about the trip, but I always get, there's always like last minute crap that has to happen before you travel. I hate it. I'm anxious enough as it is.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Alma's coming, but Arturo is probably.
I might try.
You need help? I'll
be
swing
there.
by.
He's not coming. He's just breathing really hard.
I mean,
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
God damn.
All right. Well, I mean,
Jesus Christ.
and on that note,
in the interest of time, I guess has everyone said their piece? A quick shout out. I'd like to thank Mrs. Alma Villalobos from Pink Soul Studios.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for finally being on the show.
I
don't
gotta
really.
interrupt really quickly.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you finish, but just for people who don't know, Alma's name, Alma Villalobos, actually in Spanish means Pink Soul Village of the motherfucking wolves. It is
it's true.
Dead ass. It is amazing.
So that's where you got the business name from.
Yeah.
Okay.
My first name translates to soul. Middle name is Pink. And then my last name, Villalobos, is Village of the Wolves.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It's actually what she's in my phone.
That's awesome. That's really
Yeah.
That's a good bit of information. I'm gonna digest that while I finish the outro. Thank you very much. Like, so yeah, Alma, thank you so much. Like, you're nothing but a sweetheart to us at Workbench Con. You've been super influential in the Instagram woodworking community. So thank you for all that. Thank you for bringing most people together who wouldn't normally be together. That's a huge deal. And thank you for sharing a little bit of wisdom on today's podcast. We've got Mr. Arturo, the Chop Master, on Instagram. Make sure you visit his page. Yes. Alma, Pink Soul Studios. Make sure you give her a view, which I'm sure everybody already has. And then we got Chris at Cowdog Craftworks, and finally myself, PJ Fetcher of The Evolution of Tables. I'd like to thank you guys for following along as we progressively get worse at this. Arturo, you got to go answer the door, man.
I think my mother-in-law's here.
Yeah, guys, if you have any questions or if you have anything that you'd like us to talk about, be sure to email us at askmeaboutmywood@gmail.com. Any ridiculous questions or payment requests, go to Chris at cowdogcraftworks.com. And thank you very much, guys. We'll see you all next week.
Yeah,
PJ
anytime.
doesn't know what my actual email is because I was wrong. But anyway.